How's it going, YouTube? Oxa here, and welcome back. So, got some gaming news. Haven't done one of those in a while. It feels like a proper one. Um, but yeah, got one that I'm potentially excited for, more so for one very specific reason. Which we'll see how it turns out. I hope it happens. But what am I talking about? So, Gearbox Software, publisher, developer, right? They do both. Company, most famously known for Borderlands, right? The series. They were bought by Embracer Group, this tech company publisher that owns a lot of companies actually. They bought Gearbox, but they're potentially trying to sell them now, putting them out in the market. So all of this is happening basically because Embracer Group was going to have a deal with Saudi Arabia, which is like the popular thing to do now in any industry, whether it's like soccer, gaming, you get it. Like everyone's just like, I mean, hey, those oil tycoons got a lot of money to throw around, but there was supposed to be a $2 billion deal with like the Saudi, I don't know, government, but Saudi Arabia with Embracer Group. That did not happen. That fell through back in May, I want to say. And basically now they've had a bad year, so they're trying to, cut corners, balance out. Sadly, they closed down Volition, a 30-year-old developer, most famously known for Saints Row and Red Faction, if any of you remember that series. So good. Destructible Environment, seriously, just great series. It's a shame they stopped making them. But, yeah, Volition, sorry, the words. Volition, sadly was shut down after the Saints Row reboot that came out, this year. And yeah, it's a shame, really. I remember fond memories of like Saints Row 3, like the marketing for that game with like the dildo sword or the dubstep gun. Like it was GTA but more freedom. At least that game you were like a superhero. I didn't play the first two, so I can't really speak on those. But yeah, they shut them down, and now they're trying to potentially to sell Gearbox. We only know one confirmed interested buyer, but at an investors call, like literally very recently, they talked about this past Monday, 9/11, actually. They had like a financial report or something with investors, and they talked about it, kind of going into detail, that we know a Swedish company, sorry if I'm butchering it, like Areem and Co. and Goldman Sachs. It's like two companies or something. A Swedish company was interested. Apparently that's not the case anymore. They're the only public one we know of, and then there's a lot of behind the scenes interested buyers. So, who could it be? I could see it being Take-Two. Of course, they publish a lot of Gearbox's games that they develop. EA, I could always see them adding them. And even like probably the big two, Nintendo, I don't know that they would buy them, but PlayStation or Xbox. Me being an Xbox player, of course, I would prefer Microsoft, but specifically for one reason. So again, Gearbox is mainly known for Borderlands, which I don't really have much nostalgia, or I never really played them like that. But I know a lot of people like that. I heard Tiny Tina's Wonderlands was great, actually, like a spin-off. It's mainly known for that, but there's another franchise that's near and dear to my heart that they acquired back in 2011 with, at the time, the game that was in the longest development, Duke Nukem. Of course, the game being Duke Nukem Forever, which up until a couple of years, I don't know if it was this year, it was the longest development, almost 15 years. Ubisoft's Beyond Good and Evil 2 beat it, though, like just, again, within the last couple of years. But yeah, that game was notorious, right? How long it was in development, and the final product isn't great. It's not horrible as a lot of people make it out to be. It's a pretty average game, like a 5, 6 out of 10. But yeah, Duke Nukem. I know to a lot of older fans out there, or people like me, we're younger, but we grew up on like the boomer shooters, right? Like the Dooms, the Quakes. Duke Nukem is one of them. Like he was first person shooters, first personality, like Doom guy. I mean, even Gordon Freeman in Half Life, which came later, right, '98. Um, they're all silent protagonists, or the idea is that you are the player, right, to immerse yourself. Where Duke Nukem was like our first, we are a character. And of course, he's your stereotypical macho man. Think of like your Arnold Schwarzenegger type, just a badass, gets all the babes. Like, yeah, he has to fend off an alien invasion. But Duke Nukem, it's a franchise that it's near and dear to a lot of us. I love the character. I'm playing through, funny enough, the 20th anniversary world tour right now, published by Gearbox, because they acquired it from 3D Realms, because Gearbox helped finish Duke Nukem Forever back in 2011, because again, the game took forever to come out. They have the rights to them, so that's why I'm excited with the potential sale, because Gearbox specifically owned it. I'm assuming they're selling like everything, so that includes all the games Gearbox has licenses to publish. Duke Nukem, Borderlands, like everything. There's that Borderlands movie coming out next year. Well, I mean, the strike is happening, so I don't know, but it's scheduled for next year. It's got a lot of big names attached to it. But I'm just curious. Again, as a big Xbox player, I love Microsoft to buy them. Not only because, just think, that would make Xbox the de facto like first person shooter like home powerhouse, really, because think, they own its software, which that alone is like god tier, right? Like purchase, because you have Wolfenstein, you have Doom, right? I mean, Doom 2016 and Eternal are classics. You got Quake, which can't wait for that reboot. You have Halo, which despite all the criticism, I mean, it's still an icon. Gears of War, with the Activision deal finally going through, they own Call of Duty, which, love it or hate it, which I'm not that big of a fan, but the biggest shooter franchise, they own it now. And then throw Duke Nukem in there. That would just be like, again, if you're like a strictly shooter player, there is absolutely no reason why you would ever own like a Nintendo, a Switch, or like a PlayStation. If all you care about shooters, of course, variety is always good. But yeah, so I'd love them to buy it. If I had to be realistic, I could see it either, Embracer Group could always change their mind. I don't know if it's fully like, I think they're testing the waters. They put it out there and they're probably just seeing the bids, right? Like what people are offering to buy it. But if I had to be honest, I feel like Take-Two, 2K, right, are likely to buy them again. They have a history with them. EA possibly, but yeah, I don't know. That would be, everyone has their public opinion about EA. Yeah, again, I'd really love Microsoft to do it just for Duke Nukem, personally, just so finally we could get a new game. Like, he's due for one. I mean, Forever was in 2011. Like, it's time. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna keep track of this story. Like, keep tabs on it. I'm curious where it goes, if they even sell. Embracer is still pretty big. I mean, even if they sold them, they still own like Deep Silver, THQ Nordic. They own Dark Horse Comics, like the publishing house, and also Limited Run Games. Like, they own a lot, so they're pretty big. Like, but them getting rid of Gearbox is pretty telling of like their financial situation. But yeah, if anything else, Phil, if you're watching, Microsoft, just buy them just for Duke. Like, you could trash everything else. Get the king of Greece, Randy Pitchford, out. Shout out to Civi 11. Yeah, but again, I'm hopeful. Whoever buys it, please just make a new Duke Nukem game, triple A. You know, actually put a budget behind it. I'm telling you, with like Doom 2016 really being the resurgence of the boomer shooter, and we got so many classics coming out now, like just great games. I think there's an audience for it. It could work in this politically correct environment. I still think you could do a lot with Duke, and yeah, if for no other reason, just bring the man back. But yeah, guys, that's the video. Gearbox potentially being sold, or yeah, potentially going to be sold. Do you like them? Do you play Borderlands? Are you excited for the movie? Let me know. But that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you like this type of content, I usually make videos twice a week, which, just a little side note, I won't have a video this weekend. I'll be out of town, but we'll be back on schedule around Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. But yeah, if you like it, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good jazz. And as always, everyone, I've been your host, Oxy. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
Hail to the king, baby.